It was supposed to be a simple reunion trip, just my college friends and me. We'd all drifted apart after graduation, but when our old pal Sam proposed a weekend getaway to explore some local history, we were eager. The abandoned Willowbrook Asylum seemed like a perfect place, eerie, mysterious, yet intriguing enough for a group of thrill-seekers. As I stepped through the rusted gates that groaned under the weight of years of neglect, an immediate chill crept up my spine. "This place is creepy," I whispered to myself, feeling an odd mix of excitement and apprehension. The structure loomed like a dark specter against the brooding sky. We split into pairs as we entered, our flashlights cutting through the oppressive darkness. The air was thick with dust and decay, each step echoing off the peeling walls. I caught sight of Sam and Jess up ahead, their beams dancing across the tattered remnants of what once must have been a bustling facility. "Hey! Over here!" someone called out suddenly. We converged near an old supply closet. Inside, covered in cobwebs, was an ancient tome bound in leather so dark it seemed to absorb light. Its pages were yellowed and brittle. I felt a wave of unease as I reached for it. My fingers brushed over the cover, sending shivers down my spine. It looked almost unnatural. "Do you think we should open this?" Sam asked cautiously. I shrugged, feeling an inexplicable pull towards the book. As I turned the pages, a chilling gust of wind blew through the room, making us all jump. Our flashlights flickered as if in protest. We found ourselves caught up in the stories of former patients who had vanished without a trace. It was fascinating yet unsettling. And then my pulse quickened. There were illustrations so grotesque they seemed to squirm under our gaze. Depictions of spirits bound within the asylum's walls. We laughed it off as part of the thrill until I heard it. A whispering voice that slithered into my ear, cold and accusatory. "Leave me be, or suffer as I have," it hissed, reverberating through my very soul. In that moment, everything shifted. The air grew thick with tension. Our playful banter turned to hushed voices laced with fear. We tried to dismiss the feeling, attributing it to old buildings and overactive imagination. But as we moved deeper into the asylum, strange occurrences became frequent. Doors creaking open on their own. Shadows flitting across walls in places where no light could reach. My mind began to fray at the edges. Was this just my imagination, or was something truly sinister unfolding around us? Each step felt heavier, as if I were walking through molasses, and paranoia nibbled at the corners of my sanity. The climax came when we found ourselves in what must have been the old infirmary. The walls seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, and an oppressive silence blanketed everything. Then he appeared, a vengeful spirit from the asylum's dark past. He was bound to that ancient tame, his eyes pools of rage and despair. "You've freed me," he growled, voice dripping with vengeance. We were trapped in a dance of fear and survival as the spirit pursued us through the crumbling halls. Heart pounding, I realized there was no turning back. We had to close the book or face eternal damnation. In a desperate attempt, I reached for the tome once more, my fingers trembling. The room spun around me, reality blurring with nightmare, but I forced myself to focus. As I closed the ancient binding, an ear-splitting scream filled the asylum, and the spirit recoiled, dissolving into the ether. We stumbled out of the asylum as dawn broke, a collective sigh of relief mingling with our ragged breaths. But something had changed in me, a lingering unease that whispered of things unseen and experiences beyond understanding. As I looked back at the decrepit building, now bathed in morning light, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were never truly safe. "What a crazy night," Jess remarked as we got into our car. But deep down, I knew there was no going back to what once was. The asylum's whispers still lingered within me, a haunting reminder of how fragile the line between reality and nightmare can be.